Hi guys, Firebricks here, come to you with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a bit of a modification that I've done to quite an old set here. This is of course the clone turbo tank from 2016, I'm pretty sure, with some of the older wave of sets back then. But of course, before we dive in, if you don't like the content you see here, please comment, like, subscribe. And yeah, let's dive straight in. Of course, I modded this turbo tank quite a lot. Not necessarily on the exterior, just with removing a couple of things, etc. on the exterior, but mostly in the interior. As you can see, it retains the exact same kind of look that you had before. I was trying to kind of tile it off a bit, but obviously it just wouldn't work because unfortunately I don't have enough light grey tiles to tile this thing completely off. But I just decided to take off the spring-loaded shooters here, which actually give it quite a nice look, and as you can see they're both removed on each side. More on the exterior is that right here, this cannon used to have two stud shooters there, which were a little bit annoying because like when you're trying to move on it you would accidentally shoot them, and yeah, so I just removed those and replaced it with a somewhat of a simple turret here. It's not necessarily completely accurate, but I think it does the job fair enough. But anyway, moving on to the interior. As you can see, the front here, the main cockpit, it just still opens up like that. You of course have two seats to fit your minifigures, which is the same as the previous before the actual mods, but the modifications that I've done here is obviously add a blaster rack at the back here where you have Grease blaster. You also have a bit more of control panels, and they're a little bit raised than before. Before it was only just these cheese wedge pieces down here are completely on the plate, which doesn't really make sense because the minifigures can't actually reach them. So I kind of raised them a bit and obviously added a few more control panels. I also removed the steering wheel here because, you know, you don't really need that in Star Wars. I mean, you might need it, but yeah, I just decided to remove it and add in this control panel here that kind of replicates the fact that how fast the turbo tank is going. For the mods, obviously you can open this up. Nothing really done here. I just kept these stud shooter pieces here anyway, and as well as the fact that if I modified that into some sort of rack, it would get into the way of some of the things in the interior. Now if I move this around, you can see the interior is kind of modded a bit. You can still fit an AT-RT in here, but you'd have to remove the center part here, which is just held on. Well, it's not held on at all, it just sits there. And as you can see, this is a small platform that has enough space for at least 4 troops. As you can see, I only have 2 there because I don't have enough to fill in all the seats. But anyway, so you of course have these car pieces here that you usually see in the cockpits of cars or ships or whatever for the actual seats. And then you of course have these printed 1x2 tiles here that kind of give a little bit more of detail, as well as somewhat of a command center here where you can of course give the order to execute Order 66 or something. But anyway, before my phone abruptly died, you obviously have a crate in the right of that holo table there. You could obviously store a couple of weapons in there. And if you're wondering how this stays in place, it obviously stays in place through a hole there, which is from the original set in general. It's got a 2x2 hole there, and obviously there's a 2x2 plate there, which can obviously stick inside, and it's not going anywhere. It's nice secure, unless obviously you turn it upside down. But then of course you move on to the Periscope. Nothing's changed here, exact same feature. This feature here, you can't have your clones going like that because it gets in the way of this feature. So you're better off to set them back like that. And then obviously moving to the back here, there is another couple of gun racks. There's a space for a blaster either side, as well as a couple of thermal detonators that are inside there using a couple of jumper plates. Anyway, so this part here, obviously at the neck, retains the exact same feature of the crate. I decided to just add in a couple more pieces inside of the crate, and that's just about it. But obviously, closing this up before we move on to the back of it. Closing that up. And if we get to the back here, which is, well, there's no actual front to the turbo tank, but let's be honest, this is the front because obviously it has the lights, etc. But as I was saying, you can obviously open it up like that. As you can see, the control panel there, well, the back here you can only still set one minifigure, but the control panel has been raised a bit, as well as a couple more tiles that are in there which just round it off a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more of a flat or interesting looking cockpit, because the inside of the turbo tank is black because some of the plates used in the actual set itself are black, so that's why there's a couple of black tiles there. But anyway, so that just closes up, and yeah, let's get into the final part of this video. But yeah guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Of course, everything of these modifications are basically based off of some of the cutouts of the actual turbo tank from a novel, I think it was, or some sort of encyclopedia where of course it gives it like a cross-sections view of the turbo tank. But yeah guys, if you do like the content you see here, please comment, like, subscribe. The only thing I would really mod now that I've modded it a little bit is probably to just tile it off a bit more and, you know, make it a little bit bigger, but I'll do that once you would have enough pieces. But yeah guys, that's going to be it from me. I'm Untitled Bricks, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.